Today I want to talk a little bit about excuses, and I feel like everybody, we always have an excuse. If things go wrong, there's always a reason, but I actually don't want to talk about our excuses for why things go wrong. I want to talk about how we can use our excuses in order to power us to do more and to be better at the things that we love to do. And to start, I want to tell a story. Back when I was in sales, I remember that there were these salesmen who were just phenomenal, and we were door to door. And so we spent all day just knocking on doors and going up and talking to people. And I remember I struggled a lot at first. I was averaging about one a day, which was not great. But I remember they had a big meeting and I was able to talk. And I cornered a couple of the guys who were really good because I had to know how they were doing so much better than me. They were first years like me, they had no experience in sales like me, but they were doing so well with it. And I remember I cornered them and I was just kind of asking them, like, what were you doing that's so different from what I'm doing? And they kept giving me answers. And the whole time I felt almost like their answers were incomplete. And I thought maybe they didn't understand. Like maybe they just didn't understand what was helping them sell the way that they were selling or succeed the way that they were succeeding. Because they kept giving me answers and they were like, oh, I've just always liked talking to people. And in my head, I'm sitting over here and I'm like, I love talking to people. I love people. Like, that's not it. What else? What else are you doing? They'd say, well, I try to get up early. I try to get out there on time. I say, I'm doing that too. And they'd say, oh, I'm doing the extra reading. I'd say, I'm doing that as well. And as I kept talking to them, it was frustrating at first because I couldn't get the answer I wanted. I couldn't get that. This is how to be so successful at it. But as I thought about it more, I came to realize that it wasn't what they were doing at this point that was making them better. It was how they believed in it. So they were doing the same things that I was doing, but in their minds, they expected those things to play out and to make them better. They knew that if they did these things, that they would sell, they would succeed. And in my head, I had taught myself that I wasn't good at this. And so even though I was doing the same things, I was not getting the same result. Now, I came to call those their excuses for success. They would just come up with sometimes just bad excuses. A lot of people like talking to other people. In sales, it's most people. And most salesmen aren't great at what they do. But if we can learn to believe, to find an excuse to succeed and believe in it, then we can push things forward, we can get better. And so the trick then becomes figuring out what our excuse to succeed is. And in my experience, they don't even have to be a great excuse. Most of the excuses I've talked to, and most of them I see in elite level athletes and performers, they're not great. Some of them say things like, oh, I was born for this. And it's like everybody's born and nobody comes out of the womb having a really clear, direct purpose. They just believe that. And their excuse became so powerful for them that they became something as a result of that. And so my question for you guys today is, what is your excuse? How are you going to believe in something, in your reason, to the point where it can drive you to succeed?